Alright, welcome back to NewZeroland. So, you've been hearing me complain about how cold it is in New Zealand for the last couple months because it's still winter here. This is how cold it is, if you're curious. It's basically freezing. So, it's high time I do something about it, and it's been a while since I made a video with the Zero, so today I'm going to install heated grips on the Zero. Alright, I know you guys are like, Sam, why are you being such a wimp? It's not that cold. Ahem. Okay, I'll admit, I don't ride every day. I'm lucky enough to live close enough that I can just walk to work, which is good and bad because I guess I just don't ride as much as most of you guys, and I don't put that many miles on the bike. But it also means I only ride for fun, and when it's cold, it's not fun. But I know a lot of people, including Jen, ride every day, rain or shine or icy fingers. And so in this video, we're gonna change that. Let's make commuting on the Zero a nicer experience with heated grips. All right, first things first, I wanna give a shout out to John over at Alternative Standard for shooting a video about the 12-volt accessory options on the Zero. I'll put a link in the description to that. Anyway, he pointed out an SAE connector hidden under the tank, and that's what I'm gonna use today. It's a good time to change my grips anyway because after 4.5 years of riding, the stock ones are dead. I bought this super basic kit for 70 bucks just because I'm cheap. This kit comes with a bunch of stuff, but it looks really simple to install. Does anyone really read the instructions? No. Rhetorical question. So we have grips. The throttle goes like this. There's a controller to adjust the heat. And then you get power from these red and black wires, which would normally bolt onto the terminals of a 12-volt battery like the one in the Hyosung. But the Zero doesn't have a 12-volt battery, and we're not putting these on the Hyosung. Sorry, Hyosung. So those power wires will go to the SAE connector. So here's what I have. It's an SAE connector with some battery clamps. It's the kind of thing that you can find at any electronics store or motorcycle shop for like 10 bucks. And then you have the heated grips power cable. So I'm thinking, cut these off, and then, right before your very eyes, a new cable. If you have to customize your own cables like this, make sure to use heat shrink with glue inside so the wires are protected, and it's somewhat waterproof. So the idea is, you have a left grip, a right grip, the controller, extreme, and you plug in each grip to the controller with whatever connector fits. I'm guessing I didn't read the instructions. And then bring in our new fancy SAE power cable, connect that to the controller, and then plug in the SAE end into the Zero. Let's test it out. Just so you know, the 12-volt stuff on the Zero only works when the bike is on, so turn the key on first. Okay, long story short, the grips work. They're actually really hot, but the controller isn't lighting up and the buttons don't seem to do anything. It's like an on or off thing, so the grips will either be frozen in the middle or boiling lava hot. Hot pocket! And I'm guessing that means there isn't a limit to how hot they get. They just seem to be getting hotter, so they could eventually catch on fire and melt through Jen's gloves on the way to work. You'd think after all these years of riding electric motorcycles I'd figure out how this stuff works, but no. I was thinking about wiring up a switch to bypass the controller so Jen could turn them on and off, but this isn't really where I wanted this video to go. If this is meant to be a safe how-to video for other Zero riders, and not something like rich rebuilds would hack together, I need to stop being cheap and just buy quality parts. You really do get what you pay for, so here you go, Oxford grips. Just buy these, they're the best. So this time I made sure to test the controller before cutting up the wiring. Yep, of course it works. So let's install these grips. Take off these bar end knobbies. You could probably use a flathead screwdriver, but these pliers made it pretty easy. And to remove the grip, I'm going to start with the left one. Not gonna lie, this one's a huge pain. You'll either have to twist it off or use compressed air under it to get it off. I don't have compressed air, so here we are. And then the new one should just slide on. Yeah. Make sure you rotate it so you can see the logo, reminding you of the smart decision to go with such a premium product. This video was not sponsored by Oxford Grips. The throttle side was actually a lot easier. You might need to use a hairdryer to heat up the glue under the grip, but mine's so old that I was able to just peel it off. That's what the throttle looks like. It's got a lip on the end that you kind of have to wiggle the grip onto. And Oxford actually supplies glue with this kit if you want to use it, but I felt like the grip was tight enough not to need it. So it's up to you. And then the controller, I'm actually using the mounting plate from the other kit because It's meant to mount to a bar. And the Oxford kit came with some little 3M double stick tape. So stick your controller to the mount and then rotate it kind of where it's easily accessible by your thumb. Then you have to route these cables into the tank area. So I figured I'd just follow all the other cables from the bars through these slots by the dash and into the middle of the frame. Use some zip ties to clean up the mess of cables. Then once all the cables are into the tank area, just plug them in, and it's the same deal as before. You have to cut off the little circles, splice on the SAE connector, and plug it in. Alright, I'm going to turn on the grips and wait for them to heat up. I think it takes about 30 seconds to a minute to really get it, toasty. And then I'm going to get Jen's reaction. So let's see what she says. Try out those grips.
Oh. It's so warm. I am so happy. The number of times I've ridden to work with cold handle grips, I'd get to work and be like, and then I can't feel my fingers, and then from here on out, it's just going to be a happy ride. I get to enjoy the sunshine instead of thinking about how cold I am. So happy.
I realize I've been slacking for a few months because winter's almost over in New Zealand, but for the rest of the world, it's about to begin and things are getting colder. So I hope this video helps you guys, because it was really easy to install heated grips, and I feel like every bike should have them if you experience cold weather like we do. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.